We can have Mayor Pro Tem and, well, we'll have another councilman. Councilman Castro and Councilman Don't worry, I'm holding. I want to ask Mayor Pro Tem to lead the next item, item number 12.
Okay, let's move to item number 12. We respect the decision of the mayor to disqualify himself from this item. We'll hear Maritza, and you can go ahead, make your comments, please.
Thank you once again. Besides being the president of the Girls Softball Committee on behalf of PAL, I also represent the Hearthstone homeowners, and that's an item that was actually on the consent agenda the last time, and you were all not here. So we came in and asked if those that were here present that day placed this formally on the agenda, because up until now, like I mentioned earlier, I personally started out a lot of my work with the city with regard to our area when our developers wanted to remove our park. And so ever since then, ever since those visits, I never had necessarily this agenda on for discussion formally. So what we asked was, and thank you very much for doing that, was to wait until this day that everyone was here to be able to hear it all out. The action that was being requested last week was that the city hire legal services for foreclosure proceedings against those homeowners who had yet to pay their CFD tax. The CFD tax has been a major issue with the city's residents there at Hearthstone because of our circumstances that we have. Basically, our circumstances are that we purchase these homes, we pay a huge CFD tax, which is approximately about $3,000 a year. As I mentioned earlier, the developer has abandoned the residence and is not going to continue. The park's not going to be built. Like I mentioned earlier, my kids play on the street. We have horrific conditions and a lot of unanswered questions. I mentioned briefly the last time that I was here that we all know that we're in a major crisis right now here in our country, in our area as well. I guess the city itself knows that for a fact we're all suffering. We also know that within amongst ourselves we have a lot of homeowners who are in foreclosure already, and not because the city is foreclosing on them. And the point that I tried to make the last time was that a lot of the lenders out there right now are working with the home buyers, And they are actually trying to negotiate with them so that the homeowners can keep their homes. And right now, we feel so offended that the city of Calexico is going to want to take an action on foreclosing on our homes because of the CFG tax had not been paid. A lot of us are in dire straits as it is, and basically at this point, what we've done is that we've looked for representation. He's here tonight. His name is Kent Wilson, and he's going to continue this conversation with you. But our issue has been that we haven't been, I guess, formally listened to in all of these different concerns of ours. And so tonight we're hoping that maybe we can be heard and start working on some solutions for our residents. We are really in pain, and I've said that so many different times, I feel like a broken record. But I live there, you all know I live there, and I look out my window and I see just mountains of dirt and weeds instead of a beautiful park, which has been the major topic of tonight. And yet I'm paying a major price for it. And like I said earlier, I know the developer has a lot at fault with this, but then at the same time, the city of Calexico is being requested to help us out too. But right now, instead of receiving some help, we're actually receiving a pretty bad blow as far as what we feel. That the city of Calexico is actually going to start to demand that these homes be foreclosed on. And when I sit down and think about it, it's really hard to understand how that can happen, because if lenders out there are willing to negotiate with the homeowners because they're upside down on their loans, they want that homeowner to stay there and keep paying that payment no matter how hard it may be. They're working with them. And in order for them to avoid taking on a property that has no value right now. We're really asking that the city of Calexico look at the way that they manage themselves with those homeowners, and that hopefully we can see the city of Calexico commit themselves to the homeowners as well that way. So thank you very much. I guess Mr. Kent Wilson will continue.
Okay, well, we have other comments or other resident of this neighborhood that wants to make some comments. Go ahead. Please state your name and address for the record.
Thank you, City of Calexico. My name is Kent Wilson, and I'm an attorney. Unlike most of the attorneys that come before you, I'm a resident here in Calexico, and a homeowner and a citizen. I recently moved my law practice from San Diego into your city. I'm not here because I was born here or because I have friends here or family here. I came here because I wanted to come here because I thought it was a wonderful city, and I think I still feel that way. Mr. Son made a very good comment regarding one of the issues on the consent calendar. That was regarding the parking meters, where we have money generated from the meters from the downtown, so shouldn't the money go back into the downtown? What we have in this development, or what was built in this development, are 60 homeowners who are upside down by about $200,000 each in their homes. They are paying for a school where kids can't attend. They're paying for a boulevard that's never built. They're paying for a retention basin that doesn't exist. And they're looking at a bare plot of land where a park is supposed to be. So these people are not in any mood to hear from the city that the city is going to hire attorneys to foreclose against them for non-payment of these taxes. Now, I understand that the city can't just go giving people tax breaks willy-nilly. And we all understand that the city has a lot of financial stress, and nobody's denying that. But I have a very booming practice here in this town of renegotiating mortgages with lenders because so many